Welcome to Dead Walking Sunday, where we talk The Walking Dead. And tonight's episode spent really, man, whew, a lot of energy spent over oh snap. Now, no spoilers here. This is a non-spoiler review, just basically what happened in this episode. And what happened was, first of all, Eugene, Glenn, two of Diane's people, especially one being her son, and Noah, have to go get these solar panel kind of batteries. Now, Eugene needs these somewhat batteries in order to get the solar panel going, solar power going, because a lot of everything doesn't, this whole community runs on solar power. So, sort of, kind of like batteries, kind of like whatever. Anyway, so they have to go get that. So Glenn leads his team. They're all getting that. We see Rick. We don't see too much of Rick in this episode. We see Rick, but we see him with Jesse for a moment in this episode. We see Carol doing a little bit of her thing in this episode. We don't hardly ever see Daryl. We see pretty much Noah maybe becoming an architect for this community. We see that storyline going. We see Diane and Maggie and them talking. There was overall, though, and then you see Abraham helping gathering stuff to build the wall. A lot of things, really, the two main stories that were really very entertaining and very, were more into was probably, of course, Glenn and his groups, because they're pretty much, not scouting, they're pretty much going on a run, and of course the run is not going to turn, great, all fine and dandy. I mean, there's things along the way that gets in their way. Then you have Abraham and his deal with, gathering or helping with another group gather all this stuff, build this wall. So there's stuff that happens there as well. But it's mostly about Glenn's group in this episode. I gotta say, though. And then we also have Father Gabriel, and he has a little storyline as well. Then, now that that's out of the way, let's just talk about it. This episode might have been the most goriest in a while. Most goriest, it really felt. Now it felt like a horror movie. It definitely felt like a horror movie in this episode. The zombies really felt like zombies. Sometimes they were too slow, though. It's like, damn, these zombies are super slow. It was really intense when it needed to be intense. It was really in your face when it really needed to be in your face. Not too much character development. Not too much, just focused on one character. It was really just a survival type mode episode. I really felt on the edge of my seat, like, what the hell is going to happen? Is anybody going to die in this episode? Is anybody not going to die in this episode? A lot of things are going on. There's a lot of things that go on, especially with Glenn's group. And there's a lot of basically hidden stuff of the community that Diane has. Like, there's a lot of, you could tell these two, Rick and Diane, don't fully trust each other, even though they want to, but they just don't. It's not going to happen. Definitely, this episode looked great. The pacing was great, even though, it started off slow. I thought the pacing was nicely done. Editing was nicely done. Just where the characters were placed, the predicament was great as well. There was a little arc for Eugene. Eugene gets a little arc in this episode. That was great. He's still a weenie, though. He's such a weenie. Overall, though, this episode just really felt like a true horror episode, especially that last 45 minutes. Really great stuff. Great blood work for the zombies. Just overall, just good, clean survival horror stuff. And it was great also to see basically Diane and Rick and some characters in this episode really, just question, like, is this for real, or what is going on with this community? Or you could just see this, just the mistrust, even though, but you see some of these other characters trying to really just, get into the community, try to be one with the community, but it's just not there. You could feel it. It's just not there yet. Not yet there yet. I mean, these are newcomers, and I would assume that Diane and her people would be a little bit, we'll welcome them in, but we're keeping an eye on them. And same goes for Rick's group. Great episode, though. Great horror episode. Check it out. Let me know. I will have more really to talk about it, because you can't really get into this episode without spoiling it. So watch my spoiler review. But that's really my overall thoughts. I thought it was a great, entertaining episode. I thought it really brought back that horror survival, feel to it. So thank you guys for listening. If you like this video, please subscribe. Please watch the episode. Let me know your thoughts on my spoiler review. And thank you, as always. Until next weekend for another Dead Walking Sunday, for another episode of The Walking Dead. Bye, guys. Bye.